Ever wondered how legislative elections in France work? Let's break it down. Legislative elections in France are a critical part of the democratic process, determining who will represent the people in the National Assembly. In this video, we'll explore the historical background, the election system, the results and seat allocation. We'll also introduce you to the most important political parties in France and their roles in shaping the country's future. Before we dive into the details, let's begin with some history. The legislative election system in France has evolved over centuries, from the French Revolution to the Fifth Republic established in 1958. Initially, the system was more restrictive, but reforms over the years have made it more democratic and representative. The French parliamentary system is actually the legacy of Charles de Gaulle, thanks to a 1958 constitutional referendum.
Il existe un parlement destiné à représenter la volonté politique de la nation, à voter les lois, à contrôler l'exécutif, mais sans sortir de son rôle. Voilà!
In the first round, candidates must receive an absolute majority of the vote and at least 25% of the registered voter support to win outright. If no candidate meets these criteria, a second round is held. The top two candidates from the first round, along with any other candidate who received at least 5% of the registered voters' support, compete in the second round. The candidate with the most votes in the second round wins. To vote in the legislative elections, you must be a French citizen, at least 18 years old, and registered to vote. To run for office, you must be at least 18 years old and a French citizen. Candidates often belong to political parties, but independents can also run. On voting day, voters cast their ballots in secret, and the votes are counted immediately after the polls close. The results are then announced on the same night. The 577 deputies of the National Assembly are elected through a two-round runoff system. In single-member constituencies, each constituency has around 100,000 inhabitants. The electoral map is drawn by an independent commission to ensure the population variance between constituencies does not exceed 20% within a department. Of the 577 total seats, 539 represent metropolitan France, 27 represent the overseas departments and collectivities, and 11 represent French residents overseas. The seats are not allocated proportionally across the country. Rather, each constituency elects one deputy through the two-round runoff system described above. This can lead to disparities in representation, as the deputy for the most populous constituency represents around 188,000 voters, while the deputy for the least populous represents only 34,000. The National Assembly plays a crucial role in the French government. It is responsible for passing laws, scrutinizing the government, and representing the French people. The Assembly can propose legislation, amend bills, and has the power to dismiss the government through a vote of no confidence. The most important political parties in France currently are Renaissance. Renaissance, also known as RE, is a centrist liberal party founded by President Emmanuel Macron in 2016. It is the largest party in the National Assembly, holding 244 seats. Since 2017, the party has shifted towards the right, reflecting changes in its policy and political stance. Nouvelle Union Populaire Écologique et Sociale NUPES. NUPES is a left-wing alliance that includes the Socialist Party, the Communist Party, Europe Ecology, the Greens, and Unsubmissive France. It is the second largest bloc in the National Assembly with 131 seats, representing a united front of leftist ideologies. Rassemblement National (RN). Rassemblement National, or RN, is a far-right nationalist party led by Marine Le Pen. It is the third largest party in the National Assembly with 89 seats. RN was rebranded from the National Front in 2018 to soften its image and broaden its appeal. Les Républicains (LR). Les Républicains, or LR, is a traditional center-right Gaullist party and the fourth largest in the National Assembly with 61 seats. Previously known as the Union for a Popular Movement (UMP), LR represents the mainstream conservative faction in French politics. The political landscape in France has become more fragmented in recent years, with the traditional left-right divide eroding and new alliances and parties emerging to reflect the diverse views of the French electorate. Compared to the United States legislative elections, which use a single-round plurality system, France's two-round system can lead to different electoral outcomes. The French system often encourages broader representation and coalition building, whereas the U.S. system tends to favor a two-party structure. In summary, the French legislative elections are a complex but essential part of the country's democratic process. Through a two-round system, French citizens elect 577 deputies who represent various constituencies, ensuring local representation in the National Assembly. The major political parties play crucial roles in shaping policies and governance in France. Understanding how these elections work helps us appreciate the intricacies of the democratic process and the importance of each vote. In this video, you'll learn about the historical background of the legislative election, the election system, the results and seat allocation, and what are the most important political parties in France. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the French legislative elections. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment with your thoughts or questions, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more informative content.